to advance the interests of the woman in Parliament.
Women are suffering because of ethnic clashes, and I always say the world is not safe until each and every one of us is safe. So we continue voicing our voices, and as said by one speaker today, the women must be on the table.
But we will fight back. We will restore peace in Ukraine.
So I covered.
We also have a platform, THP Voices Online Learning. They have amazing content for young people. Please take the time.
Honorable members of parliament, ambassadors, distinguished guests, welcome to the Journalist Emeritus Foundation's high-level reception on the occasion of the Commission on the Status of Women 68 session. We are privileged to host diplomats from a variety of member states, notable experts from different human rights organizations, journalists, academics, civil society pioneers working at states level, intergovernmental platforms, or civil society arena for this common goal towards working for the timely and sensitive implementation of SDGs and SDG 5 gender equality in particular. Welcome on board, and we are very excited for tonight's gathering. We have an evening ahead of us full of networking opportunities. I'm used to having the mic with me, so I think I'll go like this. So we have a night planned with full of engagements, networking opportunities, and we will hear from our global partners coming from different parts of the States: Belgium, Canada, Greece, India, Romania, Kenya, and Tanzania, as we are collaborating to organize 12 different panel sessions covering many different CSW working areas across the next 2 weeks. So following the reflections of our honorable guests in the timeline of our program, we will move on with the introduction of our global partners. We'll receive their very brief reflections on the themes that they will be working. And as this year the CSW coincides with the start of Ramadan, a bit more challenging as CSW is not enough busy, when the call for prayer arrives, we will have our open buffet ready for your enjoyment, and the networking session will then continue. So let's start our program tonight with our introduction video. was a wonderful glimpse of what's coming up front. We have many of the speakers in the room, and we will soon hear their reflections. I now invite the President of the Journalists Emeritus Foundation, Mehmet Kılıç, to take the stage for his opening remarks.
Honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the JWF High-Level Reception that commemorates and celebrates UN Commission on the Status of Women. And this is the 68th session of the UN Commission on the Status of Women. We are truly delighted to have each and every one of you here tonight with us. And as you can see, we have a full room of women and men who advocate for women empowerment, girls' education, and we all advocate, we all agree that women need more voices, right? We need more voices for women. We need more participation of women in decision making, and we need more women in higher levels of political or decision making. Of course, we are celebrating Ramadan for our Muslim, friends. So I would like to say Ramadan Mubarak to everyone celebrating this holy month. Today is the second day, and I know it's a little bit difficult for those who are fasting, but we have only, I think, half an hour to go. And I would like to say Ramadan Mubarak to you. This gathering marks a significant moment when women leaders and delegations from across the globe come together to celebrate women's rights and stand solidarity to make a meaningful difference in our society. Now more than ever, it is crucial that we join forces to raise awareness on pressing issues and challenges concerning women's rights. And that is the reason why we are getting together in New York to raise our voices at the United Nations. That's why we have all these organizations from 8 different countries. They come over here, and we thank you so much for, giving your support, being together with us today. So I would like to give you a big round of applause if you don't mind. Let me give you a little bit background about the Journalists and Writers Foundation. So we are an international civil society organization dedicated to the culture of peace, human rights, and sustainable development. We are a 501c NGO based in New York, and we are also associated with the United Nations Department of Global Communications. With 11 years, I think our journey with the CSW started in 2013, 11 years ago, with only one panel discussion. And within the past 11 years, we have grown to be organizing 12 parallel events in partnership with 13 NGOs from 8 different countries. And I think that's an amazing accomplishment in 11 years. And also not only CSW, but the UNGA, we built a global partnerships of 52 global partners from 27 countries. So when we do something, it happens in 27 countries by these 52 global partners, and we are so proud of it. As the JWF, we advocate for equal participation of women at all levels and recognize the invaluable contributions of women make to social and economic development globally. It is important to champion the inclusion of women and girls in the fight for gender equality and to combat violence against women. And also I would like to mention about young women, because we have so many young women among us, and we have so many young interns. They are 8th graders, 10th graders, or they are first year freshmen at university. They are interning with us, and they are becoming a part of this. So our goal is to inspire them and give them a meaningful understanding of what women empowerment and girls' education is. So I'm so happy that we have the young women with us, and it is crucial in delivering sustainable solutions to societal challenges. As we celebrated the International Women's Day on March 8th, let us reflect on the pivotal role women play as champions of human rights defenders, protecting the rule of law and democracy. And we have member of parliaments among us who are women, and they make amazing change not only in their countries, but they also make a change globally. I would like to quote UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, and he said, I quote, "We stand with women and girls fighting for their rights, and we commit to accelerating progress. We must support women organizations on the front line, and we must invest in programs to end violence against women and to drive women's inclusion and leadership in economies, digital technologies, peace building, and climate change. Together, let us ensure that women's voices are not only heard, but shared with the world. Please carry on the knowledge and inspiration you gained here tonight, and also you gained throughout these CSW events, and bring it back to your communities, bring it back to your institutions, bring it back to your families, so that people from all over the world, they hear about what is being discussed in New York. And lastly, I would like to thank you all for women and men, because this is not only about women. The other side of the coin is men. As men, we have to stand together with women to support them, to be with them, or to become sometimes not the leader, but the supporter, or to be someone like behind strong women. So I want to thank women and men present here tonight to support women's empowerment and girls' education. Your presence and dedication make a difference in advancing gender equality, empowering women worldwide. Now I would like to show some slides about two events. If we can go to the next slide. It's the UN. If you can go up. Okay, the fourth one, yes. So as I mentioned, UNGA is one of the times that we are bringing 52 global partners from 27 countries to, again, contribute to sustainable development goals. So this is our flagship event that creates a platform for diverse stakeholders to discuss the Global Agenda 2030, which offers innovative solutions, strategies, policy recommendations to advance the culture of peace, human rights, and sustainable development. And the next slide, so we have been organizing this SDGs conference for the last 8 years, and now we are having this Pioneers in SDGs Awards, because we really need to recognize those who are contributing to sustainable peace and development. So this is an awards program, and that really pays tribute to outstanding individuals and organizations dedicated to advancing sustainable peace and development. And we have an international jury that evaluates these programs using 4 criteria that are innovation, stakeholders, scope, and impact. So I would like to encourage you and your organizations to submit your projects. We would like your project to have a recognition. Maybe your project could be implemented in different parts of the world. So this is a way to give a global visibility of what you're doing. It's not only that the people who you serve hear about it, but let other people learn and know about it. So I don't want to take much of your time. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you would enjoy it. But I would like to tell you that we really have outstanding women in our audience. Please take your time. This is the time to meet, connect, and network with the global world of women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mehmet. So the 68th session of the CSW, one of the biggest UN platforms where civil society members, women's rights advocates are meaningfully engaging with the diverse development and human rights experts. So there will be over 800 panel sessions within the course of next 2 weeks at the United Nations and the CSW assigned venues, with around 10,000 expected participants. to join these gatherings from different parts of the world. So this is really a time to echo our voices, to disseminate the peaceful, cohesive conflict resolutions brought up by women peacemakers, and surely targeting the gender-sensitive implementation of the SDGs. So at a time where we really see on a global level a shrinking space for human rights defenders, I really cannot think of a better time to be active by all means at this credible UN platform. So moving on with our program, we have a group of members of parliament with us. Their excellencies spoke at our events, and now I would love to have them on the stage. So from Tanzania, Member of Parliament, Her Excellency Neema Lugangira. From Kenya, Member of Parliament, Honorable Sarah Korere. Again from Kenya, former Speaker of the House, Honorable Francis Ole Kaparo. Please join us on the stage. Her Excellency, please let me take you to this side, and we would really love your very brief reflections on CSW. We were privileged, honored to have you to speak at our event today, so please, the mic is yours.
Good evening, everyone. As introduced, I'm Neema Lugangira, Member of Parliament from Tanzania. I'm very happy to be here, and today in the morning I spoke about women leadership and the impact that women leadership has on peace. And I shared best practices from Tanzania and the great work that our President, Her Excellency President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, is doing in Tanzania in their way in which she has strengthened the democratic state. And her leadership style in terms of strengthening democracy in the country is driven around 4 R's. So I'll just share. The first R is reconciliation. Second R is resilience. Third R is rebuild, and the fourth R is reform. So these are the 4 R's which she's using, and I think all of us in our day-to-day lives, we can live by these 4 R's. You know, reconciliation, resilience, rebuild, and reform. So thank you so much for having me.
The word to Honorable Neema Lugangira. So,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. As introduced, I'm Sarah Korere. I'm a Member of Parliament from Kenya. I'm doing my 3rd term in Parliament, and this conversation could not have come in a better time than now, when we know a lot of women are suffering in countries where there are wars, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Gaza and Palestine, and so many other places, including where we come from, where women are suffering because of ethnic clashes. And I always say, the world is not safe until each and every one of us is safe. So we continue voicing our voices, and as said by one speaker today, the women must be on the table for peace and peaceful coexistence negotiation. And if the women are not on the table, when you bring them around, they will create the table for themselves. I always tell women, when you are not on the negotiating table, if you are not careful, you will be on the menu. So I think it's very important for women to be on the table, because we are not vegetables, we are not edible, we cannot be on the menu. So thank you very much, Journalists and Writers Foundation, for having me here. It's truly a humbling experience, and it is enlightening. I've learned a lot from this, and I've got a lot of networks, and God willing, will continue to raise the voices of women, and more so, the voices of the voiceless. Thank you.
Good evening. As you can see, I'm not a woman. But I am born of a woman. And I'm married to a woman. And I'm a father to girls, women. But you know, without women I wouldn't have been. And without them I wouldn't have survived. This world requires both of us, the women and the men. I'm sure the women will not love a world without men. That I'm sure. You may not admit, but I know it. And neither can we. So we all need one another. I think the problem has been in the past was the arrogance of the male species of humankind, that they are better than the ones that have given them life. But slowly we are getting to know the truth, which is that all of us need one another. And which truth is also that the world cannot be a good world without the contribution of both sexes. And that's where we are headed. And you know, I was Speaker for a long time in our National Assembly. And like other parliaments around the world, the women were very few, were very disadvantaged. We had to create an organization for them. What do you call it? KEWOPA? I'm talking to you, sir.
Yes, sure.
It's called KEWOPA, Kenya Women Parliamentary Association. To advance the interests of the woman in parliament. That was the first organization we ever had. And today we have not made tremendous steps in the right direction. And we are not alone in that. Many countries around the world still oppress women, still keep barriers on the path of women to leadership and progress. But those barriers will come down. They will come down because they will be removed by the women, yes, but much more importantly, by the men teaming up with women. And you men know this. Just know this. The women are there to stay in this world, and we can't keep them in bondage. We tried slavery. It failed. It couldn't sustain itself. We tried male chauvinism. It can't. Political bondage for women won't. So all of you who have beard like me, please team up with these ladies and let's make the world a better place for all of us. For me, I give all the support to Sam to do what has to be done in a very difficult environment. She is the first female since independence to be elected in our community. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have taken too much time.
Well, thank you so much. Honorable, we have a plug for you as well. So Honorable, if you don't mind, so stay with me here. Honorable Francis Ole Kaparo, he is the former Speaker of the House of the National Assembly of Kenya, and we would like to give him a Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his selfless contribution to sustainable peace and development and advocating for human rights, the rule of law, and democracy in Kenya and Africa. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. In addition to what I've said, I also run a foundation called the Ole Kaparo Peace Foundation, and it is necessary Because in the area of Kenya where I come from, the northern part of Kenya, there is and has been a lot of inter-ethnic conflict. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can do the photos. And we
Can
will
I
follow
ask you
with
that?
Yes. With
All of them.
Agenda, Ezra.
I think I want to be in the
Ah, sure. He for she.
It's not.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Well, moving on, we have one more member of parliament in the room from Ukraine. Her Excellency Yevhenia Kravchuk is with us. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you. Please.
Thank you, friends. And actually, we know each other. We are the same program with Niema in the Munich Security Conference. So the networking does matter because you go to another corner of the world and you see a familiar face. My name is Yevhenia. I'm a member of Ukrainian parliament and I'm a former journalist. Actually, after I worked as a journalist, I turned into a PR director. So I worked for politicians. I was mostly men. I was telling them how to behave, how to talk, how to get elected. And then I understood that I have to be at the spot as well. So I'm from President Zelensky party, and I was elected in 2019. Now I serve as the head of the subcommittee on informational policy. And I'm the co-author of the new legislation on media that was introduced in Ukraine. And of course, this week I'm working in New York at CSW, and I think that women do have to find their spot. And it's very important that there are men in this room, because being in our own bubble will not, bring us to the success we would like to achieve. So thank you for the men who are helping, inspiring the women. And just a small, when Ukrainians get a mic, they should tell about our fight. And actually, that we are under war of aggression of Russian Federation. And our colleague from Kenya said that really, yes, we have to be at the table. And that right now, our best negotiation team is up the front, women among them. We have 46,000 women in Ukrainian army. This is probably the highest number in any NATO country. Maybe besides United States, but in Europe for sure. Women are doctors, they are teachers teaching in the basements. Women are journalists, women are human rights defenders. Our Alexandra Matvichuk received a Nobel Prize during the full-scale invasion for her work in the human rights defense. Of course, women are vulnerable during the war. And of course, we do have these ugly cases of rape during the war. And it became an instrument of war just to scare us so we would not fight back. But we will fight back. We will restore peace in Ukraine, and it has to be just peace for all the women and men who live in Ukraine. Thank you.
Great to have you. Well, I'm very happy that you noted that I believe Center for Civil Liberties got the Nobel Peace Prize, and this year we're more than thrilled to hear that Women Wage War, a grassroots initiative founded by Israeli and Palestinian women, they are now nominated to receive, hopefully, this year's Nobel Peace Prize. So we are led by these courageous, globally recognized women in such arenas. So thank you so much. Moving on, I want to start with our events because we have 10 minutes or so till we start with the dinner. Then the program will continue after a short break. So our first event took place today. Journalist Emeritus Foundation's in-person panel discussion on women's leadership for sustainable peace and security. We had the honor of hosting Honorable Neema. And I will kindly ask now to have Vonya Vamak to join me in the stage, if she can briefly introduce herself and her expertise areas. Please join us.
All right, so first of all, thank you to the Journal and Writers Foundation for having me. So I'm just going to just give you a very quick, brief rundown of what I talked about this morning. So I covered cohesive approaches for women in conflict zones. So looking at, first of all, we've got to create more peacemakers, right? We definitely need places at the table, but we have to create more women peacemakers. And so I talked about some different ways in doing that. I introduced some of the approaches, and one of those happens to be elevating women that are doing it so that they're visible, so people can see them. I tried to bring a little bit of knowledge to some of some of those women. I talked about my recent time in Israel, which I was there, stuck during the war. And two of the organizations that I was working with, one a Palestinian organization called Women of the Sun, and the other an Israeli organization called Women Wage Peace. So this is a known organization now because they both have been highlighted in Times Women of the Year. So if you pick up a Times Women magazine, everything's about women right now. If you pick up a Times magazine, you will find these women in there. And I also tried to, and I should say too, they've also been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. So it's a good thing for them. But I also tried to highlight those women that work at the grassroots level. Women like a girl that I know named Ilse Ackerman. She's a mom. She lives in rural Virginia. She's got 2 children. She lives on a farm. She works a full-time job. And she is taken to social media to try to make a drop. There's a famous Dari proverb that I'll leave with you that I really like, and it's drop by drop a river is made. And I know there's one in Turkish, I know there's one in French, they're all over the place. But if we each make a drop, a river can be made, and we can make a difference. So I encourage all of us that are out there, men and women, if you know women that are involved in peacemaking, bring along other peacemakers to them, and there will be a place at the table. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Vonya. Moving on, we had our partner Set Them Free's in-person event, another full house gathering. We were pleased to have wonderful active participants from different parts of the world. So we spoke on strategies and mechanisms to empower women human rights defenders. So for that, I would love to have Hafsa Girdap, the Executive Director of Advocates of Silence, Turkey, to share very brief reflections, along with Ruth. Please join us in this stage.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm also very grateful for being a part of this amazing team. Full of men and women supporting empowerment of women. I believe this is gonna be going on outside of this room in their own lives, really. So as just you see, we talked about empowering and supporting the women human rights defenders. And actually women's rights are human rights. There is no need to separate them, but when you look at our world, there is actually. And I am really glad that in the room, maybe most of the sides, the parties of this fight were available, if not all. There was a politician, and she is here, where is Sarah? So as just she mentioned that if you want to make a change, an impact, it's not good to go to the politicians and to ask for a change or impact. You should be there if you want the change, and she's there. So she talked about the patriarchal and oppressive, approaches within the society, community, and the parliament, and she talked about her own accomplishments. And then there was another person, you cannot see her here, but she was another hero. She talked about this citizenship rights. If you want to make a change, you have to go exercise your citizenship as a very powerful action. It can be voting, it can be asking for I don't know, maybe changes within specific conditions. And also she talked about the real heroes on the ground, the journalists who are targeted or sometimes even killed, and reminded us how to fight against them, right? Thank you, Ludmila. And there was also Ruth with us, and she is doing a very important thing. I'm sure she's going to be, maybe mentioning briefly about it, but it's about empowering women human rights defenders in terms of for their own good, well-beings, because we are being exposed to secondary trauma, which is really, we are not aware most of the time. And she was talking about healing and listening to our bodies. Just in a second, I'll be, turning to my, I know when I get it, it's hard to leave it, but yeah. And then I, both a scholar and an activist, I talked about my own research, bridging the academy with the grassroots and make an impact in that, collaborative, collective action. And I talked about my now current research, the racialization experiences of women immigrants from Turkey, and how to change policies and how to challenge the discriminatory or stigmatizing discourses against immigrant women, and bringing it from the academy to the grassroots and show the potential impacts. So yeah, we were good. We did really good, I think impressive impact there in the room because it was full. And now I'm gonna leave the mic to you.
Hi everyone. I'm a little surprised to find myself standing here, but it's been a privilege to be here and very humbling to meet all the people and all the work that you're doing. And with my organization, Interplay Sustaining International Sisters, we're helping women connect with their bodies, connect with other bodies, and build a community. And I just ask you right now to breathe in, breathe out. And if you're holding your hands or anything, I just ask you to release them a little and shake a little. And we're going to breathe in one more time. And if everybody in the room can just let out an audible sigh. Ready? Let's hear your voice. Got it? So in the Interplay, we just say never underestimate the need of another body to be reassured. And I find it very reassuring to be here with you tonight. And I know that people want to break the fast. So
I know.
I don't know who to hand this back to. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us from Atlanta. Wonderful. So now we will give a short break to enjoy the dinner. It's almost the time. And we'll be back with the rest of the panels later on. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're enjoying your food, and I hope you like the food. But we are excited to show and share with you the rest of our global partners. And they would like to share their program that's coming up in this week and next week. So I would like to get your attention, if you don't mind, as we invite our following global partners and events.
So today we in fact had two in-person sessions completed, JWF's in-person session in the morning, and in the afternoon we were privileged to have our colleagues, global partners from Belgium Intercultural Dialogue Platform. So I will ask Ludmila Malai, the EU project manager, and her team to please join us in the stage. to join us if you're still in the room, as you also spoke in this event. If not, that's it. Yeah. Well, off the track. Come on. Just wanted to make sure you're.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, thank you so much to everyone that organized this. It's been amazing to see already some familiar faces from last time we were here in New York in September for the SDGs. Our panel was about amplifying youth voices to foster gender equality. I'm personally a youth advocate, and I became a youth advocate working with young people and seeing the potential they have. So, when we speak about gender equality, I think we need to also speak about the potential that young people have in promoting this cause. I hope with our panel today we did manage to bring some insights from a European perspective, but also overall from our other speakers in the US. And again, I'm so grateful to be here. I was so amazed by the members of the parliament from Tanzania, from Kenya, such inspiring speeches and such interesting insights and practices that we could also implement, because we somehow have this arrogant view that in Western countries we have all the answers, we have all the knowledge, but the things that I heard yesterday, today, we really do need to do the same things that they are doing. I mean, I was really, really inspired. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. And then with the floor.
Thank you very much to inviting us. Yes, I'm coming from Belgium with my colleague Emilia Ludmila. In our panel, I spoke about newcomer women in Belgium and two projects we developed for this for newcomers, for girls, for women, and how we can overcome a little bit the challenges in our country, in Belgium, for newcomers and girls and women. And and I really enjoyed also the other panels and the shared experiences of every speaker. It was really inspiring also for me to being here. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me as well, and I was honored to be on a panel with these lovely ladies, and also Anique, who couldn't make it, I guess. But I briefly talked about the importance of motivating youth with civic engagement projects, with our program Young Leaders in Civic Engagement, and hoping to see more youth involved in such initiatives, and also leading them to have leadership roles in their futures, and hopefully having gender equality be a part of their mission. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We have certificates for Belgium.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on, if we can switch, yes. So the role of media surely plays both an important role, and we should also be cautious about how violence against women is projected on media outlets. And Honorable Member of Parliament from Tanzania also spoke of this. We should push forward for more meaningful engagement of human rights defenders with media outlets through peaceful means. So this event will cover such topics, and I have Advu from Romania leading this session. So I will please ask the speakers
and the representative to join me in the stage. Hello everyone, good evening. Thank you so much for having us today here. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. My name is Esma. I'm a law student from Romania and a representative of ADVU. ADVU is an association for dialogue and universal values, which was founded at the end of 2017 and is a non-profit association that aims to promote a dialogue between people, regardless of culture, ethnicity, religion, or social class. ADVU wants to become a common point of reference in determining universal values, dialogue, tolerance, and love in Romanian society. We consider education a universal value, and we believe that the learning process never stops. That's why we organize courses and educational modules for adults and children. Through events, debates, and lectures, we address central themes, debates, and of general interest, viewed from different angles, trying in this way to find solutions together and to open doors to new social and scientific cultural projects. We support humanitarian and social responsibility initiatives. We promote cultural pluralism through our actions. We offer scholarships for studies and academic research, projects on the subject of multiculturalism and intercultural communication. I came along with two speakers from Romania. I have Ms. Mariana Zverianu, she's a journalist, and Ms. Carmen Nemes, she's a lawyer and founder and president of an NGO from Romania. I will now give the word to them so that they can introduce themselves. Thank you again.
Hello everyone, I am Mariana Zverianu. I am a journalist with over 20 years of experience. I worked for 10 years on news television. In fact, it was the most important news television in Romania, Realitatea TV. I was a TV anchor, and then I worked on the national television. Now I'm working on a generalist television. I have my own TV show where I debate the news. The political news. I have invited guests from all the fields, but I am also interested in social issues. That's why I have a sensibility for gender violence, for domestic violence in general. That's why I am here these days, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Carmen Nemes. I'm a lawyer in Romania, but also I'm a feminist, I'm an activist. I have 25 years practicing the law in the field of family law, fundamental rights law, elective law, in general civil law. I'm here in this night to thank ADVU Association for Romania, our partners, and also Journalist Writers Foundation for putting me here in this position and forced me to speak with you in English. I speak very, very good Romanian. I can speak in Romanian 3 nights and 3 days without keeping myself about domestic violence that I'm practicing in Romania. I was practicing this gender-based violence before in Romania law appeared protected order, before in Romania appeared the theory of domestic violence, but I didn't know. I was an activist since I was little. So after I was a barrister, I was in politics, I was elected like a city council. I get out of the politics because I didn't like it. I like it, but I didn't like it, so I founded my own NGO because I'm a lawyer and I am a defender. And I am a feminist, so I defend women and children. And from 2011, I will number something like 12,000 women that called or help them in a way, like an advice, like a counselor, or even more obtain protected order in the court. So we do a great job with my team in Romania and ICE Association, and now I'm glad that I'm here to talk about this. So I am expecting you on my panel the day after tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you, and I wish you a very
You're perfectly fluent, so I don't know what the problem is, so that was great to have you. Thank you, thank you.
A little bit closer, please. Perfect.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
One, two. All good?
Thank you so much for coming.
All good.
Thank you so much. Well, as organizers, and they are participating at CSW since the last 2 years, we would love to give our appreciation plugs to Advo and Lumina as well. For that, please, Fidan and Mehmet, join us in the stage. First, let's have you for Advo. Thank you.
And Lumina Educational Institution is very powerful in terms of educating youngs with a global mind. I have the privilege of knowing more about Lumina Education. Lumina Education is one of the pioneer educational institutions in Romania and the region. So I encourage you to go, just like search Lumina Educational Institution. They have so many awards in education. And thank you so much for coming.
Oldu.
Thank you. So moving up, let's have Cage-Free Voices join us. A vibrant team is now coming to the stage. They're going to be speaking about how to free the girls within. So I am joined by Bathsheba Smithan, the CEO of Cage-Free Voices. So the mic is yours for brief reflection.
Cages confine until we realize the lies that disguise and hide these eyes from seeing the true picture. The great man in the mirror. Hi, I'm Bathsheba Smithan, CEO and founder of Cage-Free Voices. We are an international multi-service ed tech system that educates youth and adults who struggle with self-image and identity, and we do that by way of constructing powerful learning experiences. With a neurodiversity approach to learning, we believe that all students can learn, and therefore we've been able to move students 2 to 4 grade levels in reading in just 2.5 months. Ask us how we do it. We also have theater, a theater program, and a global youth podcast network, because we know that young people need to be heard, especially today. We will be hosting a panel this Thursday called Freeing the Girls Within. And here with me are my team members. I'll allow them to introduce themselves. This could not happen without them. So I'll hand the mic over to them. Good evening, everyone. Who could come up behind that, right?
Okay, my name is Dr. Jacqueline Virgil. I am the executive partner for Cage-Free Voices. Here at Cage-Free Voices, we truly believe that for our children, that their liberty is in their literacy. And I know that in order to empower our children and our young people, we must teach them how to read. And they must be able to absorb that information because they cannot think thoughts with words that they do not have. And so we hope to see each and every one of you, or as many as possible, for the event that we're doing on the 14th. And thank you so very much for having us here today.
Good evening. My name is Sophia Akins, and I serve as the Member Services Representative for Cage-Free Voices. I am also a youth advocate. I have been involved in the juvenile justice system for over 10 years, dealing with human trafficking, criminal justice, juvenile behavior, as well as foster care.
Hello, I'm Dorothy Rice. I'm the lead content developer, and I've been in education for almost 20 years in a wide variety of settings, mostly in urban St. Louis. And I guess my thing as the content developer, I write a lot of lessons, and when I do that, I focus on three main things. Is one, what are the kids interested in? Like, what are they talking about? Two, when I'm researching things, I try to find sources as close to the original people or groups involved as possible. And three, I try to leave on a question rather than on, I want the kids to learn this. They're better. Questions are better.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so just a bit about our panel that's this Thursday. The panel discussion centers around finding freedom within circumstances that are socially constructed, limiting women and girls' potential, offering strategies to build confidence and equip women and girls with the tools needed to be active members of society and empower them in the economic sector. We'd like to thank the Journalists and Writers Foundation for the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, and also we also have a plug for Cage-Free Voices online learning. They have amazing content for young people. Please take your time to visit their website. And one thing that really touched my heart is that they translated their online learning education program for refugees in Greece into their native language. I think that was very, passionate of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we also have online engagements for colleagues who could not make it to the New York to attend CSW, and our one particular panel, She Economy, led by our dear program associate based in India, Priyanka Chachal. She will be leading this engagement with the UN women experts, speaking about the strengthening institutions and women's leadership for socioeconomic development. So moving on. We have with us Dr. Teta Banks, Director of University Advancement and Planning from North American University, as the main organizer of this session, Who Speaks for Who. So please, Dr. Banks, join us on the stage.
Thank you so much, and thank the Journalists and Writers Foundation for including North American University and then universities in general. I'm Dr. Teta Banks, and I am the Development Director at North American University, which is located in Houston, Texas, of all places. But it is one of the most international institutions. We have MOUs with about 26 country universities on 3, 4, 5, 5 of the continents that we service, and we are increasing that. 50% of our population is international, both of our students and of our faculty. And we have over 23 languages spoken at our university, so that every student coming into the institution is welcome, and we have friendship circles, things like that. We are very pleased to participate this year in the CSW NGO because we are integrating the SDGs throughout the entire curriculum. We had a federal contract to do that in our textbooks. We call them OERs, Online Educational Research or Resources, and we did that in a 2-year project to integrate that. And as we were doing that, we had to pay attention to inclusivity. And of course, we had to pay attention to not only racial, ethnic, gender, and regional types of differences. And so the segment in terms of gender inclusiveness was a very key point of it. And in doing that, we also looked and found and saw a lot of the research in terms of the barriers, especially of women going into certain educational areas and careers, specifically STEM. So STEM is a big deal here in the US in terms of boosting the numbers. Currently, in terms of career-wise, only 3% of STEM professionals are women in the US. That's just the raw data. Okay. So how are we going to increase that? And we also look at the barriers. So our panel will talk about the barriers as well as recommendations, as well as current achievements in those areas. So thank you very much for including us.
So we also have a plot for North American University.
Okay.
I just want to add one thing about North American University. I have to say it, otherwise my wife would kill me. Because my wife, she graduated from North American University, from the school counseling program, which was amazing, and she got certified in New Jersey. It works. So thank you so much, North American University.
So now we have our Canadian team on board. Baccalaureate, please join us in the stage as they will be discussing ending period poverty for South Asian women. Please, let's have the team coming up.
Thank you so much, Mehmet and Kemi, for having us and for all your support all the time. Before I begin my formal remarks, I wanted to say that when we had first started off as an organization, it was 6 men who came together and wanted to do something to help people from the country they were born in. We thought of doing work for women and often faced questions like, how can you create programming for women if you're a group of men? Why should you do that? You should stay away from that kind of work. But we decided to do it anyway. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, and representatives of international organizations, it is an honor for us to be here with you today. My name is Anil Wasif. I am one of the co-founders and the Director of Strategy at Baccalaureate, and I'm so happy to be here alongside my partners who I wish to introduce themselves over the next few minutes.
Thank you so much, Anja. Hi everyone, my name is Tamid Hasib Khan and I work as the Director of Communications here at Baccalaureate. Baccalaureate in the Bangla language means strive to survive, and we are striving and achieving that, or at least attempting to achieve that, through partnerships all across the world. And we hope to continue building that and then also achieve gender equality by achieving SDG 5. I'll now pass it along to my other partner, Farid Zaman.
Thank you, Tamid. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. I would like to thank JWF and Mehmet, especially for giving us this high-level platform to express and discuss these important topics with you guys. So Baccalaureate is an international social impact agency. So currently we operate out of Toronto, New York, DC, and Bangladesh. We're also a registered nonprofit in the Americas, Canada, and as well as US. And thank you all for joining today and hope you all had a great iftar. I'd like to pass it on.
Thank you. The vision and the mission has always been about helping Bangladeshi communities, whether they're in Bangladesh or spread out across the world. Currently, we're doing this in 3 ways: community building, policy research, and signature initiatives. We host impact socials, UN parallel events, and workshops with youth to ensure that they're aware of the SDGs and they can gain critical life skills to succeed in their careers. We publish public policy research, the most recent one being a comprehensive report on how we can end period poverty in Bangladesh, where we work directly with a women-led grassroots organization to not only teach young rural boys and girls the intricacies of menstrual hygiene management, but also create funding sources for them so that they don't have to make a choice when it comes to their periods. We also deliver signature initiatives, which comes in the form of humanitarian assistance or cultural expressions through different kinds of projects that we work with our global partners. On that note, none of this work is possible without global collaboration, knowledge sharing, and cultural exchanges, values that are exemplified by JWF, as you all know in this room. We wanted to thank the entire JWF team for supporting a youth organization like us and bringing us to the highest levels when it comes to engaging with international partners with whom we have so much to learn from. Without further ado, I just wanted to take a second to introduce all of you guys to our panel. It is our very first one on the sidelines of CSW68. It will be a panel about ending period poverty for South Asian women and girls across what was then called the Indian subcontinent. We have brought together panelists from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. And the panel will be moderated by our program manager who has completely designed this program from start to finish and who will be joining us this Saturday in New York City. The discussion is aligned with the key themes such as ending poverty and strengthening institutions for women, themes we've discussed all week. And we invite all of you to join us at the Church Center on Monday, March 18th at 12:30 p.m. I want to end this note with a simple stat. Over the past year, Baccalaureate has worked hard to gender balance our full complement. Today we are 50-50 gender balanced all across the organization. Many of our members are not here with us tonight, but they have worked so hard to put this panel together. The entire panel has been women-led and will be delivered completely by women. I encourage every leader in the room to think about doing the same. Thank you.
Well, good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we will have a youth, continuing with Greece. So one of our other online engagements have been with this NGO, Gefres Iris, meaning establishing peaceful bridges from Greece, and they're going to have a specific country focused on Greece and the Balkan regions, speaking about how to combat challenges of women's socio-economic empowerment and domestic violence. So their event is next week. Now is the time that we have our youth advocates in the room introduce themselves, speak about what themes that they will discuss, and this wonderful team is led by Hafsa. So if I can just have everybody to be represented and one of them to speak on behalf of the group.
So as most of the other women having lots of hats, carrying lots of hats, you know. Our difference is that than other men having lots of hats. Are you agreeing with me? Yes. Okay. So I'm a mom too. Yeah, on one side in my life. So youth involvement, as just mentioned, is very important in social justice, global current issues. So for maybe 6 years now, I cannot remember, I'm trying to mentor the youth in my community to get involved in this, you know, important decision-making positions. And they're going to be talking about...
The mic is for Hafsa. The mic is for Hafsa. Oh, okay. Let her speak.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry. You know, I cannot just resist when I see it. Sorry.
Hi everyone, my name is Hansa Girdab and I'm a sophomore in high school. And the reason I wanted to participate in this UN project is in order to give a voice to the voiceless over the world in Congo, Afghanistan, and Turkey, which is where I'm from. So we are all so privileged in this room, and we have two choices, either to take it for granted or make something great of it. And I decided that I want to help the people who don't have these opportunities as us to to help them through their suffering. And I will continue fighting for my sisters and brothers because we are all related from one mother and father, and technically we're all cousins, and I want to help my sisters and brothers. So.
Yeah. Do you want to take? Can I?
Yes, you
okay, I knew that would happen to me. Okay.
A great picture. Today's leaders and tomorrow's leaders too.
Thank you.
So Abu is having from Romania another online session on the role of education. They're going to speak how this pivotal role that education has towards achieving gender equality. And our last global partner that we have in the room today is Embrace Relief, a humanitarian organization. Let's have the team members up here.
Yeah, we would like to have Mr. Osman too.
Okay, I will kick it off as it is Women's History Month, so happy Women's History Month. And also, of course, a happy Ramadan to everyone. I'm so happy to be here with familiar faces and getting to meet new friends. It's always wonderful to be a partner of the JWF awesome events. So as Jemra shared, we are Embrace Relief. We are a nonprofit that is headquartered in Fairfield, New Jersey. And our mission is that we're dedicated to alleviating human suffering as well as promoting sustainable development. And we do this through our carefully curated 8 programs, which have been tailored to align with the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So we're actively working with this broader community within our country, as well as the entire world, to work towards a higher goal. So Embrace Relief addresses a number of humanitarian issues and crises across the world through those 8 programs, which include clean water, health, education, hunger relief, disaster relief, refugee relief, women's empowerment, of course, orphan and child care via our Raise the Children program, and I think I probably forgot one. There's 8 programs, I think I only named 7, but you can check our website out. So I just want to say I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight, and I will pass it on to our CEO and my colleague. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to share this room with you tonight. And I'd like to say thank you to Journalists and Writers Foundation and for the opportunity to partner with them. Nobody told me that I'm going to speak tonight. I don't have anything to prepare. But at Embrace Relief, we believe that empowering the woman is empowering whole community. So we design our program accordingly. And we have like many programs to support the woman, and many of our programs also designed to help the women and girls, to support girls' education, support the women, to empower them, to help whole community. Thank you.
And our panel discussion on March 21st, we'll discuss two of our programs specifically and how they affect women and empower women. Clean water, we build water wells in Africa, which help to provide women with more security, more productivity. They're able to get their education. And then also another program which we're very thankful for the JWF for allowing us to spotlight tonight, our RISE Women's Empowerment Education Program. It's a scholarship program for women in Tanzania to help them get advanced degrees. It's a two-year-old program. It's allowed 24 women thus far to get advanced degrees and to eventually become the leaders of the Tanzanian education system, we hope. So we're excited to talk about these events at our March 21st event, and we hope to see you there, and very thankful to be a part of this wonderful event. Thank you.
And Diana said it's Women's Month, right? So that's why, and I'm sorry, I'll have to give it to her.
Okay.
Thank you, and Embrace Relief is really making a difference, not only in the US, but across the globe. And every time I call Osman, he says he's in Nigeria, he's in like Benin or Kenya, all over the place. So thank you so much. That takes a lot of courage, but also that takes a lot of team, that works hard in the backstage. Thank you so much. But again, from the bottom of our hearts, we truly appreciate for everyone for joining tonight. This event is meaningful with your participation. It is meaningful because of the work that you do in your local communities, okay? So we cannot save the whole world, but we can, save one job at a time, right? Monia said, every drop makes a river. So we guys all make a river with a little drop in the ocean. So thank you so much for coming, and our events continue. So please, attend our events, connect, meet, and be a big family. Thank you.